Here's another tip for you guys, how to poach the perfect egg. You know, a lot can go wrong when you're poaching an egg. You probably attempted this at home and sometimes it worked out, some others, you know, not so much. There's a few things you should consider. First of all, the freshness of the eggs. You know, it's important that the egg that you select is as fresh as possible. Here's not a problem here at the farm because we actually can go in the morning and pick up the eggs, or even the day before. So today we're going to be doing some duck eggs and I'm going to show you how to poach an egg. One of my first tips on this one is to keep the egg in a refrigerator until last minute. I don't normally keep the eggs in the fridge, but I do tend to put them, you know, for at least an hour if you want to do a poached egg. It just helps the egg to firm up a little bit. So here we are. I got some lovely duck eggs here from our farm. And second good tip is to crack the eggs into small ramekins, so it just keeps the egg tight, and that will help then to pour onto the pot of water. So it is important that you don't break the egg yolk if you want the poached egg, you know, to work out. That will be a great start. We've got 2 duck eggs here. Then the water. It is important that the water is boiling like this, but not too vigorously, because if you put the egg into very fast boiling water, that will just throw the egg around. Okay, we're going to add some vinegar or any sort of acid, you know, just to help the protein of the egg to congeal. Okay, what you want to avoid is to put salt. Salt has a completely opposite effect. It will just, you know, spread the egg rather than, you know, tighten it up. Don't put a lot of vinegar as well, because you might end up having the eggs, you know, tasting far too much to vinegar. Then the next step is to pour in the egg. So literally bring it over and then tip it over slightly. You can at this stage, you know, help with your spoon just to bring up the egg together. Repeat the action. It's important that the water regains boiling, you know, quite quickly, because there's another problem when you're poaching eggs, is that if the egg just sits there in the water for too long, ends up absorbing a lot of water, ends up absorbing a lot of the vinegar, and this is when you get this poached egg that actually tastes a bit like vinegar. So bring it up to a simmering point as fast as you can, and then control that temperature for about 2-3 minutes until it's fully poached. Now, I'm going to show you a wonderful technique that we do, you know, in professional kitchens. If you want to do this for your menus, you know, for your dinner parties, instead of having to, you know, poach your eggs a la minute, you can actually poach the egg halfway through, then just stop the cooking in some ice, okay? So reserve it in some absorbent paper until you need it. You know, let's say you can do that in the morning for lunch, and all you have to do before you serve it is just dip them back in some hot water for a minute and a half to warm them up. That won't completely overcook them, and then you're just ready to serve. So it's a good tip for you as well. So as you can see, it's basically about controlling that temperature, putting it up and down in order to maintain a constant, you know, simmering without boiling too fast. About 2.5 minutes have passed. As you can see, it is cooked on the outside, but it's still nice and soft on the inside. So at this stage, what you can do, just straight into ice cold water to stop the cooking immediately. Use your senses always when you cook, okay? They're always going to be your best tool. Another classic mistake, don't leave the eggs in water for too long, because they're quite porous. They will absorb a lot of the water and end up losing a lot of their, you know, taste. So as soon as they cool down, you can just literally drain them off, putting into an absorbent paper. And they'll be ready for you to use when you need them. So next step is just literally dip them into hot water for about a minute and a half until they warm up, and that's ready to serve. Then to serve, just simply, once we heat it, you can drizzle with a tiny bit of extra virgin olive oil. A little bit of truffle oil will go very well with eggs. Like so. You can season up a little bit of fleur de sel, molten salt, twist of pepper, and then go through and you get a lovely poached egg.